Welcome, everyone, to another Connecting Tucson with Jamie Overturf, broadcasting from Tucson Business Radio X, situated in the Stewart Title corporate offices on Broadway in Tucson, Arizona. Connecting Tucson is all about connecting our community and local businesses to do some good. Today, we have a special guest in the studio, Brianna Dang, who is the production manager at ProLam Plus here in Tucson. Hi, Brianna.
Hello, Jamie.
How are you doing today?
I'm great. And yourself?
It's Christmas time. I'm going a little bit crazy. How about you?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We've been getting the house together, so my Christmas shopping's next week.
Oh, gosh. That's kind of late timing.
Yeah, it is this year.
Nice. Well, Brianna, you were born and raised right here in Tucson, Arizona. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you have 4 siblings, 3 older sisters, and 1 older brother, making you the baby of the family?
That is right. I am the baby.
Going out and proving something, are we? Or
No.
All right. Well, you've been married 9 years to your husband, David, and together you have 2 beautiful, bright children, Zachariah and Lexi. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. I'm so happy you can come on.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, excellent. Well, let's dive right in, Brianna. So let's just start off with a very easy question. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am 30 years old now, been married about 9 years, and I started helping my dad out at his business when I was about 15, during the summer times. And when I turned 18, I started working with him permanently for a little while, and then we had our son. So I left and kind of took another path. And about 3 years ago, I came back permanently, and hopefully I will be taking over the business when my dad retires in 2 years. So just trying to keep the family business going. It's just the 2 of us, so...
Oh, so it's just you and your father working there.
Just me and my dad.
So it's definitely a family-run business.
It's a mom and pop shop.
So very interesting. So you are the baby of the family. Do you think that motivates you a little bit more? Maybe trying to prove yourself a little bit, getting yourself out there, showing that you can do this?
Yeah, show my siblings I can do it. Show my parents that I can take it on and, provide all the services my dad's been doing for 26 years here in Tucson.
Nice. Has any of your other siblings ever taken an interest in the business?
My 2 middle sisters worked for him on and off throughout high school. My oldest sister used to do payroll for us.
Oh, okay.
And she worked with us for a couple of years.
Nice. Okay, so really just you and your dad?
Yep.
How is that working with your father?
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's very flexible, especially with the kids. He's very understanding if I have to run and take off. But it's nice because I don't have to deal with, the bosses that yell at you and scream at you. And he knows me on a personal basis, so he knows what buttons to push and what not. So
it's interesting you say that because you didn't always used to work for the family business. You stated that you took a different path.
Yeah.
So what did you used to do prior to working at ProLam?
So I worked in a senior home for a little while as a server, and then I moved to Canyon Ranch Health Resort for a while, and I was doing serving, and then I ended up in the dietitian office before I left.
Okay, so a completely separate...
Way different path.
Yeah. So you're just like, I'm just going to verge off and see what's different.
Yeah.
So we're in the corporate world, and now you're back to the family business.
Yep.
2 completely different fields, would you say?
Yeah.
I definitely would. So what brought you back specifically?
I had come about 3 years ago to help out. They were getting really busy, and I was still at Canyon Ranch, so I was kind of doing the 2 together, and I just saw how much my dad really needed help. And I love being able to be creative and have my own ideas and bring that to my customers. So I was like, you know what? This is more along what I want to do, and I can be free. So why not?
So explain, when you say you get to be creative, what do you get to do?
So we do, like with picture frames and artists' work, we can show them different ways of displaying their work to people, and we get to, change colors of the frames or the mats or the boards. So it just brings that little spark out.
Okay. So you get to kind of show your creative side. You don't have to worry about, I guess, that corporate, like I say, the corporate world coming down on you, always having those demands. I think there's something special about being able to have a family-run business. It's just, it just seems more like a personal touch, I want to say, to me. And I did definitely experience that when I actually walked into your shop. Yeah. So that was fun. So I have to admit, I'm also the baby. So I do think that motivates me a little bit more to prove myself, because it's one of those that, okay, I'm not the baby, A, and B, I know what I'm doing. So let me just prove to you. I think I have a little bit more to prove. I think that is very similar. We have some of those types of paths there. So let me just ask you this. How did ProLam start? Because it is your dad's business, and he's been working there since 1996. Okay. So talk to me. How did it start?
So he used to work for another company that was similar, but he decided, you know what? I want to do more for my customers. I want a more personal touch. I want to be able to talk with them, bring them in, let them see what we do. And so he decided to go off on his own, and he started in 1996, and here we are 23 years later. Still
just
going.
Keeps going strong. Yep. Okay, so he started for like a local business here. Yeah. Okay, and then just said I can maybe do it a little bit better or more personal.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I guess probably wanted to leave a legacy for you guys as well, right?
Yes,
doing something of that.
He's a sole provider of the family for a long time, so
it must be difficult
to make sure everything was good and that he could control everything.
That's good. And I know being an entrepreneur can be difficult. Do you think he maybe had some struggles in the beginning, or how do you think, how did ProLam, usually within the first 3 to 5 years, that's when the business starts, either they're going to make it or they're not. So what do you think he did to make sure that ProLam sustained the long haul?
Just making sure you got his name out there and making sure that all the work that comes out of our business is quality and efficient.
You do have quality. I can definitely say that. So for anybody that hasn't checked them out, you do need to check them out. ProLam Plus, they're here in Tucson, Arizona. So I know you don't run the business yet, or maybe 2 years. We'll see how that goes. What are your responsibilities for ProLam?
Pretty much everything.
Ooh,
so
okay.
I do the customer service. I do the one-on-one with the customers. I do the labor in the back, and that's why I have the title production manager. I see everything that comes in, make sure everything's in order, what needs to get done first, what needs to go out first. I do writing the invoices. I do the email contacts, the phone calls. I do help with the books. So I do pickups and deliveries, pretty much a little bit of everything.
So you are definitely positioning yourself to take over in a few years. Is your dad ready to let go of the reins?
I don't think my dad will ever be ready, but part-time maybe.
Okay, that might work. You have a wonderful, from what I understand, you're also trying to maybe bring it into a little bit more of the 21st century with the social media aspect?
Yes, we just started doing that.
Okay, so tell me about how has that social media aspect maybe helped, or what are you doing right now in social media?
So I'm getting our Facebook together, and then we are looking into having a new website made, something more personal with our own pictures, a little more about us, some videos maybe. And other than that, right now, that's all we have.
Okay.
I just started working on all that.
Have you gotten any feedback from your social media site yet?
I've gotten a few customers come from our Facebook, and I've had a few comments and questions on there, but other than that, not yet.
All right. So you're
it's
just
a work in progress.
Work in progress, venturing it out. I do know social media is a huge thing this day and age, especially for family businesses. So I'm so glad that you're actually getting out there and doing that. So, your Facebook page, I don't think I've actually seen it. Well, you said there's personal pictures. What are you putting on there? What are you posting?
So our website right now just has basic pictures of what lamination and everything is. So we wanted to bring in personal pictures of us in the process of doing it and what it looks like when we're done, so that it's our own work that is showing on the website.
That is so important, because I think once they see the kind of work that you can do, I think it draws people in, especially the quality that you do.
Exactly.
Now, let's just go right in. What products and services does ProLam Plus offer?
So we do hot and cold lamination, we do dry mounting, and we do custom aluminum framing. And the dry mounting is basically you can take a picture, a photo, a poster, and you mount it onto a board. We have different kinds of boards with different substrates. We have foam cores, we have gaiters, we have aluminum boards, we have plastic boards. So you can just take that photo and put it on the board. It stiffens it up. You can display it easier. So
Okay, so you just mentioned a lot there. So let's take a step back. Hot and cold lamination, what's the difference?
So our hot process is a double-sided. So it completely encapsulates whatever we're laminating, the paper, the poster. So that our menus even, that's one of our big
menus.
items for hot lamination is menus. Our cold process is where we just put a lamination on the front. And it's not through a hot machine. So if you have wax inks, it won't smear them or smudge them or affect them in any way.
Oh, so like the back's not laminated, it's just the top?
Just the top.
Oh, that's interesting.
So like when we do the display boards, you don't want to mount or laminate the entire board. So we just laminate the front where the photo or the picture is.
Okay. So that actually brings me to a point. There's these lamination machines that are out there that I've seen at like Staples and Office Depot. Why would somebody want to use you versus buying the machine and doing it themselves, especially if they have menus and they're having to do it all the time?
Time consuming. We also have an automated laminator. So it feeds it for me. It runs it for me. It counts it for me. It cuts it for me. And I basically just supervise.
Okay, so that's neat. So is that hot lamination the same process as the machines that you see at Staples?
Yes.
Okay, but maybe on a much
Bigger scale.
grander and bigger scale, because you said it does everything from like not only hot laminating, but cutting and counting and doing everything.
Yes, and it's a bigger scale. A lot of the in-store ones are like small. You can do like a 12 by 18, whereas we have the option to go up to 4 feet wide by however many feet long.
Wow. So there's a lot of different things. You also mentioned different types of mounting material. You said gator. I know it's not an alligator, but that's the first thing that came to my mind. So what are those different types of boards and why would you use them?
So we have foam board, and it's exactly as it sounds. It's a foam-based board. The gator board is more of a harder foam.
Okay.
It's more resistant to the weather. Like as if you were to mount something on the foam board and put it outside in this Arizona heat, it's going to start warping. So the foam board will warp. The gator board is a little stiffer and it's more weatherproofed. And then we have like aluminum boards that we mount to. We have PVC, plexi. So
lots of different types of options.
Just depends on what you're looking for and what you need.
Yeah, so not just mounting pictures and not just laminating.
Yep.
So what's your favorite type of project to work on?
I like doing, I would say, the framing aspect.
So when you say framing, what kind of, you said aluminum framing?
Custom aluminum picture frames.
Okay, so how does it custom?
We have very many different styles and colors.
Okay.
So we can, if you have a weird off size that you can't go to the store and buy a frame for, we can definitely have it made for you.
And do you do it there in shop or do you?
We order our frames cut and then they deliver them to us and we put them together in the shop.
Nice. So you like to be able to do those custom type. What's the most unique?
I would say we had an artist come in and we had to mount his photos onto a thick wood, almost like pallet frame. Ooh. And then, doctor it all up and make it look good. That one was one of my funnest ones, I want to say, just because it was something we had never done before. I mean, the board came in and it was like almost 2 inches wide, which is, pretty wide compared to most of the boards we work with. It's about 3/16 to a 1/2 inch wide. And then it being all wood was something new for us. Trying to figure out how to mount it onto the wood. Is it going to stick? Do we have to use a certain adhesive? So that one was probably my favorite, just because it was something new.
Okay.
And it turned out beautiful.
So bring you the custom, unique ones as well.
Yes.
So you obviously don't just work with artists. What are some of your clients? Who are they?
We like to say we are a finishing shop for the print shops.
Oh, okay.
So we do a lot of work with the print shops around town. But our favorite of customers, of course, are, the mom and pop shops that come in, or small restaurants, or homeschooled teachers. They'll come in and have their maps or their schoolwork, that the kids do.
Oh, yeah, so that they have to hand them out in class so they don't get ruined.
Exactly.
I get it, so they don't have to keep printing it.
Yes.
Didn't even think about that.
We even have a dry erase lamination, so that's nice so that they can put that on and write on it, wipe it off, and reuse it.
So wait, there's like your regular laminations you shouldn't dry erase. There's a specific type.
There are special types, yes.
See, I'm learning things as we go. All right, so you don't just put in it like that store-bought lamination machine is probably not one you should be using a dry erase marker on.
No.
Okay.
I mean, wet erase might work on them, but the dry erase leaves shadows.
And then you got to get that cleaner and put that stuff on. Okay, now I'm getting it. All right, I think I'm getting a little bit. So I was so not aware of all of the products that you use. There's so many different boards, laminating, different machines and tools. So I guess I myself, being a layman, wouldn't know what to use when I came in. How do you know which to use, or do you just like kind of...
That's when I start asking questions. What are we doing with this? Where is it going to be? Do you want it for a long time? Is it just something you're hanging in your house? So that's where the creativity comes in, and we get to work really with the customers. Because a lot of the time they're like, oh, I just want this laminated. And it's like, okay, well, what are you going to do with it? Well, I'm going to have the kids, play with it. They can write on it. Oh, okay, so then you want a dry erase. Or, oh, it's going to go outside. Well, then let's use the UV lamination where you have a 5-year guarantee outside, or we have a graffiti lam. So for park signs and stuff like that, if anyone goes and tags it up, it's easy to just go and wipe it off. So
wait a minute. There's a park sign that you laminate? Explain.
So we're doing some work right now for the county, and we're doing all the park signs. So like the no dumping, or the no speed limit signs, or no dogs, or no bikes. And they post them up outside in the park. So we just make sure we put a graffiti lam on it, just in case, anyone wants to go and tag on it or anything, they can just clean it up and not have to replace the entire sign.
So why doesn't every city use that? Because there's tags on everything.
Exactly.
I'm not going to sit there. I go by and I'm like, okay, that's tagged. That's a street sign. So instead of cleaning it off, why isn't that just broadcasted out there to laminate it?
I don't know that everybody knows about it.
That's just unique. They should put this on the trains.
This is something new with the county, too. This is something we just brought to them this year. So.
Oh, nice. So you're working with the county right now.
Yep.
So here in Tucson, what kind of signs are you replacing?
So right now we're not replacing. They're actually putting up new signs in their parks. They didn't have any. So they're doing the trail signs and, like I said, the speed limit, no dumping, no dogs. So...
Okay. I know a lot of signs, and I know this is bad because we are an open carry state, but they also have the guns. Do you have anything that you can relaminate with the guns? That they shoot the signs?
No, I've never seen that.
I've seen that mainly on parks. I think it's kind of sad, but hey, It is what it is. So obviously you have a lot of different clients. What is your favorite type of client?
I would say our mom and pops.
Yeah.
The little small restaurant businesses that are locally owned. It's nice to work with them because then it's all going back to the community.
Oh, that's so wonderful. So working's not everything. And a little birdie tells me that you have kind of a mini zoo at your house.
I do. I do. Yes, we have 3 dogs.
Oh,
we have a cat that adopted us a couple years ago. We have 2 fish tanks. I cannot even count how many fish are in them. My son has a lizard and a fancy mouse.
Wait, fancy mouse. Mm-hmm. Wait, doesn't the lizard eat the mouse?
They're in separate cages, so.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
So you have to be kind of an animal lover.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I mean, if I could have it my way, I'd have more pets in my house.
Is there a specific type of pet you'd like to have more?
I love dogs. They are my favorite.
Yeah.
They're such great companions. Although my cat is now giving them a run for their money.
Oh, cats do. I used to have 2 cats and 2 dogs, and now only, unfortunately, have 2 dogs, a hamster, a snake, and a spider.
We had a hamster, but the cat got to it.
Oh, no!
Yeah. So now he has a fancy mouse, and it's in his room.
Oh,
where the cat does not go.
Yeah, that's hard. That is definitely tough. I just have to tell the story because my son actually brought out his hamster this weekend and was playing with it on the floor. And we have 2 dogs. They're Australian Shepherds, so they're herding animals.
Yeah.
And they had never encountered. His name is Hannibal the hamster because he has a taste for flesh, apparently. So he was walking around, and then my dog just decided to run up and started to chase the hamster
no.
who was outside of the ball, and it just like all chaos broke loose. And all she wanted to do is lick this hamster. And she's like a big dog trying to lick this little tiny
baby.
hamster. And she pawed it and it squeaked. And we thought, oh no.
Oh my goodness.
It was alive. It's alive. It's okay. But it was a lesson learned that we needed to make sure to manage that. And I have to say, I'm definitely an animal lover as well. And it's something that, you know, I love animals. If I could do something, we would.
Yeah.
So we were talking about your clients just a second ago. So what type of clients are you searching for?
Right now?
Yeah. Are you searching for any? Or who are the clients that you partner with?
Anybody.
Anybody.
Honestly,
okay.
We will not turn our doors to anybody.
Okay. What clients, or are you partnering with anybody in the community besides the government?
Right now, we do a lot of work with the U of A.
Oh,
we do a
really?
lot of work for the Health Science Center over there. We do stuff with Raytheon once in a while. But really, our big one is the county.
Okay.
That
Do you
really
do
is.
anything
And
with
then
museums?
print shops.
Yeah, anything with museums?
We don't directly do with museums. We have a lot of work that we have done for the Arizona State Museum, but it comes from another client.
Okay.
It comes from the print.
I would think
print
that
shop.
the museums want to try to protect the art.
yeah.
And how do they go about doing that? Because you can't really put like a ton of glass over some of those paintings. What is it that you do to help protect the art?
So we can just mount it onto the board. If it is very touchy on the front, we normally won't put anything on the front because you don't want to damage art. But if it is something we can laminate, we like to laminate it.
Okay, nice. So I do have to say that I have seen your work firsthand. You actually laminated a piece of tricky art that I consider. It's like this new bead art.
Yes.
I got it for my husband's, I call it a Father's Day present. It's our dog that we talked about that liked to paw Hannibal. And you guys did such a phenomenal job of asking the right questions and making sure that where I was hanging it, because it was going to be in his, guitar room. It's kind of a little bit of moisture. You made sure everything was good. I could still see the picture through the glass because I didn't want the beads to fall off.
Exactly.
That was one of my main concerns because, it does get some sun and I didn't want the adhesive where they had done the beads to come off. You just did such great, incredible work that I was so impressed that I had to be like, I got to talk to these people more because I now have a puzzle that me and my grandmother, I think I told you this, me and my grandmother did a puzzle.
Yes.
And I have yet to try to move it because I don't want it to fall apart, but I got to figure out a way to get that mount. Do you mount puzzles as well?
Yes, we do. And actually, you take Elmer's glue and you paint it on the front of the puzzle and it dries clear so that when you go to move it, it's still in one piece. So it makes it easier for you to move.
I will try that. Just regular Elmer's glue?
Yep. And just lightly paint a little coat on the top of it. And when it dries, it's clear. You can't even see it. That's usually what we do before we mount them, just to make sure they don't fall apart or we lose a piece.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know that. Nice trick and tip
Yes.
from the professionals at ProLand Plus. Elmer's glue.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to have to. And it's just like in the squeeze bottle. You just like get a brush.
Yeah, a painting brush and just paint it on.
Did not know that. So one thing I will say is you do educate your clients, and I'm very happy that you do. It's not just from asking the questions, but you actually teach them about the different types of boards and the processes.
Correct.
So do you get the clients that are like, no, I just want this?
We do have some clients that are like, well, no, I just want the basic. This is all I want. Okay, that's fine. There's no reason to argue with the client.
Okay, absolutely not.
If they know what they want, we give it to them.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So I also feel very strongly about educating my clients. So I know where that comes from. I also think it makes the client feel more at ease because they can trust you. They're like, okay, maybe you could, you ask the questions. If you just assume and then all of a sudden, 6 months later, their piece is falling apart. That's not what I wanted. You get those complaints.
Yes. We very, very seldomly ever get complaints, but we always guarantee our work. So if there's a problem, you bring it back and we will fix it.
See, guys, there they are. They'll fix it. So if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Connecting Tucson with Jamie, where we focus on connecting our community and local businesses right here in Tucson, Arizona. As your local insurance professional for personal and commercial lines insurance, as well as a small business owner, I know how important it is to make new and lasting connections right here in our own community. You never know how a connection will create a spark or pull you in a direction where you are not even thinking of previously. If you are a small business owner or involved in a community project and want to be featured on the show, please feel free to give me a call. All of my information is on TucsonBusinessRadioX.com, and I would love to hear from you. We're just talking to Brianna Dang, the production manager at ProLand Plus, which is a family-run business here in Tucson, Arizona since 1996. Her father actually started this business from working with a different company, which is in a similar realm, and said, I can do this, and decided to do it a little bit better. If you've not checked them out, you really should. All of their information is also on Tucson Business Radio X with Connecting Tucson with Jamie Overturf. So, Brianna, we've been talking a lot about the types of styles that you do, the different types of clients. What does ProLand Plus offer that other companies do not?
We have that personal relation again, and we are fast and efficient.
Okay, so let's just say I'm going to actually, because we talked about fast and efficient, let's say I brought my piece in. How long or how long does that process usually take? Does it depend on the piece? Or like, let's say a general lamination, how long does that usually take? Or if we have to do a mounting, how long can that take? Walk me through that process.
So a usual lamination, if it's a small job, it takes about an hour or two. Now, when we get into the bigger ones, that's when I go to my automated machine, and that's within 20, 30 minutes, we can punch out a couple hundred pieces.
Nice.
Mounting, again, depends on the size, but just a basic, say 24-36 takes about 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. So let's just say a local restaurant came into your business and says, I need these menus laminated. Can you do them same day, or do you usually say, we need to wait a few weeks?
We usually tell people a one-day turnaround. And that does vary depending on how busy we get. Like the past 2 weeks, we have been slammed, which is awesome. So the smaller jobs kind of get pushed aside a little bit to make sure we get those bigger ones out. But we always make sure that we communicate that with our customers when they come in. Just so if they are on a time limit, we can make sure theirs gets pushed up. Or if they're not, we can push it back to make sure other ones get out.
Do you ever partner with other businesses if you get too busy?
No, we have not.
Oh, so you are able to hit those time commitments then. So let's just say, so you can, if need be, do same day turnaround, as long as you're within that time frame. Do you ever charge extra for rushes?
Well, we have before, yeah, but we don't get too many where it's something that we can't get out.
Okay.
But, every once in a while on a Friday, it's like 12 o'clock and we need this before you close. So then we'll do like a little $25 rush job just so we have time to set up and get everything together.
That's so nice. So for all you local business out there that needed menus, go ahead and go to ProLand Plus. They do have a very quick turnaround for you. Do you ever work with like design companies that you would laminate directly with? Have you ever thought about partnering with any of them?
No, we have not.
Oh, see?
Usually everyone just comes to us and they're ready for the lamination. They're like, this is what we need.
Nice. So maybe we can talk afterwards and we can maybe hit you up with a couple of those people that can start doing that. Nice. That'd be great, right?
Love to get our name out there.
So
work with everybody.
Many of our listeners out there probably haven't needed lamination services or have done it on their own. Let's just be frank, when they needed to do that, correct? So how would you describe your business to potential customers or clients?
That's a tough one. I would say...
Take a second. Let's I want it to come out right. Let's do it. Okay. So how would you describe your business to potential clients or customers if you were talking to them, like your 30-minute elevator speech? You know what that is? Not 30-minute. That's a long time. 30-second elevator speech is what I meant. But that's what it's like. If you had to get yourself out there in 30 seconds or less, what would you say?
We are a small mom and pop. We're a mom and pop shop. Fast, efficient, personal, and we love working with anybody, honestly. So we're just good at doing fast, quick turnaround and quality work coming out.
Nice. Okay, so basically it's your one-stop shop for laminating and mounting, and that you will take on anybody from mom and pop businesses to just your one-off shops to one corporations. Excellent. And it's just you and your dad there. How do you do it? Do you like work until midnight? I just have to know, because if you got a one-day like turnaround, I mean, you said you're busy. Like seriously, it's just you and your dad there. That's a lot of work.
At managing our time and what needs to be out, honestly. And when we do get into a bind, you know, my mom will come in and help out, or I have friends who have come in and helped out. My husband's even come in and helped out.
Oh, good for David.
You know, once my kids are a little bit older, I'll be getting them in there to help out just like I was doing.
You can never start them too early. Trust me. Just get them in there now and get them going.
Exactly. I'm like, the sooner I can get them in, the sooner I can leave it to them.
Well, you just brought up kids, and I know being a working mom can be kind of difficult as well. And you said your dad does allow you time to go off. But I find it very difficult owning my own business, and I know you're trying to take things over. You're going to be taking on a lot more responsibilities as an entrepreneur if and when you do take that over. So are you prepared to mentally maybe not only take on the entrepreneurship as well as the motherhood route? What are you doing to get yourself ready to do that? Because I know when I go home, sometimes it's hard for me to take off that work hat just to like really talk to, you know, my husband and my son. And I'm still in the back of my head thinking, oh, I've got to get to this client. I've got to do that. How do you balance it?
I really, really try not to take my work home. Once I'm home, it's about the kids. But there are days where I work late or I get stuck. And so when I get home, it's just, I have to turn it off. I don't have a choice. I have to be there for the kids. I want to make sure that they have everything they need. So it is tough to juggle it, but you know.
I need to do a better job is what you're telling me. Thank you.
Well, no, I work part-time right now, so I do have a little bit more time right now, but when I do take over, that will be a little bit of a challenge for me.
So let's just talk about that, because I know your dad had to make an adjustment from going from a corporate world to an entrepreneur. There's a lot of different hats that you wear as a business owner, and you will be doing the same, from HR to payroll to business owner to client liaison to, you know, P&L type different sheets. What are you doing right now to prepare yourself to take those types of tasks over?
I'm just making sure everything is in line. Everything at home is going good. It's on track. We have a schedule. I make sure everything at work is running smoothly. Try not to leave anything up in the air when we go home every day. It's just, it is a struggle, but it's all about schedule.
Right. So let's just go on here. Obviously, we talked a little bit about what you did prior to here. What do you, I guess, I'm going to try to say this in a different work. So, you've held several jobs about dietitian and everything else prior to coming into ProLand Plus. What do you like best about being at ProLand Plus versus where you were in the corporate world is my question. It's like, what do you like best now versus where you were?
There really are no hard lines. You don't have to follow every rule by the book. If in a corporation, when you go in, it's these are the rules. This is what we expect of you. We get to go outside the lines. We get to be creative, create things ourselves, show the customers things they wouldn't have known on their own. So it's very flexible.
That's
I like
so nice.
being able to be personal with our customers.
And you didn't really have that in the old jobs? No,
it's more, this is what we expect of you, and this is what you're going to do.
But it wasn't a bad gig. No, I mean, you had a steady paycheck.
Yeah.
And coming into the entrepreneur world, you always don't have a steady paycheck.
Exactly.
So that is kind of one of those scary type scenarios when it comes on. How are you preparing for that when you're taking over?
I just got to make sure me and my husband are working together and that we are stable. And
your dad's never going to leave. I have a feeling like he's one of those
people that... He'll probably go
part-time like you are now.
Yeah.
You guys
will probably
flip.
Switch roles. Yeah.
Flip. I like it. All right, Dad.
I mean, he's been doing this all his life. I don't know what he would do without it. So I don't expect him to fully ever leave.
Right. Well, let's just, we always work hard, right?
Yes.
We work hard. So what are some things that you like to do in your off time?
We love cruising, driving around town. Going,
I was going to say cruises on like cruise ships or
no.
I need to come over to your family.
We like sports cars, so we like to go for cruises. We love adventuring, going to the mountains, checking out new places around town. We love music, so anything to do with music.
What's your favorite type of music?
I don't have a favorite type.
Really?
I pretty much love all genres.
Nice.
I can't say the same for my husband. He's not a big country fan.
Ah.
But I have gotten him open up a little bit to that world, so.
That's nice. So do you do that as a family, like you and like David and the kids and your mom and dad, or is it just mainly?
Mostly me, David, and the kids. We do get together with my in-laws and my parents, a couple times a month, but mostly it's just a little family thing.
So you're just going out, cruising,
listening to music.
Like cruising the strip in like the 1950s and 60s is what I assume. Like you're driving down Tucson Boulevard, like
Speedway.
Hey, there we go. Go down Speedway. Exactly.
Old Spanish Trail's a fun little road to go down.
Have you ever been out to like Tucson, like old Tucson and like those types of places with the children?
No, we have not taken them to Old Tucson Studio.
So first off, you need to go there because it is a phenomenal place. And if you've ever done a lot of Western movies, like my grandparents were.
Oh, yes.
You see all the old John Wayne like facades that were there. They were phenomenal, and they just do such a great job of keeping everybody entertained in their shows. You need to try that.
Me and my husband have gone, but we haven't yet to take the kids.
Not even at Nightfall?
We were worried about that. There's been a couple years where they're like, "Oh, we love scary things," and then there's years where they're
scare me not sticks. They have the scare me not sticks, so you can carry them around.
I have heard about that. But
so you buy the scare me not sticks, and they don't scare them, but they're phenomenal. You need to try it.
Yeah, we were going to do it this year because my son's all into the gore and the scary and the clowns, but my daughter just got to that point where she's like, I don't know if I like scary things again. So we're like, okay, should we? We've been debating for a couple of years. I would
definitely try it next time. So let's just see. What have we got here? You already said you're ready to take over the business. I don't think your dad's ready to let you take it over yet. But maybe we can convince him. And you're doing some social media. What are some of your sites?
So I have ProLam Plus on Facebook.com, of course. And then we have our own website right now. It's ProLamPlus.com, but we are getting ready to revamp it.
Ooh.
It's going to be all new, more personal, in-depth.
Nice.
For those that don't really know what lamination and mounting is.
Like me.
Yeah.
And pretty much anybody else that's listening, because they think that laminating is the laminating machines from like the stores.
Laminate flooring. And then when I say custom framing, they're like, oh, you do door frames? And I'm like, no, picture frames.
That's what I was just about to ask you in the next one. What's the most common misconception that you get from your business?
Do you sell laminate flooring? That is one of them.
Really?
Yes.
I would not have thought that.
I don't know why people, when they hear the word laminate, that's where their mind automatically goes.
That's like the vinyl flooring, right?
Like the little planks that you piece together.
I don't get how. I can. So that's the most. So how are you combating that? Are you going to be changing your website to kind of combat that, or?
No. I mean, the website, once you go on it and you start looking, you know exactly what we have.
Nice.
So I don't think we would have to really change that. It's just small local people, they just see laminate right away when they look up, laminate. ProLam Plus comes up because it's lamination. And there's not a lot of lamination shops in town.
There's really not, but there are a few. So how do you differentiate yourself from them?
Quality and quickness. And price, of course.
Nice. Price, of course. Is your pricing listed on the website as well?
It is not right now.
Okay. So how quick can somebody get a price quote if somebody wanted to call you?
Oh, you can call me and I can either tell you on the phone or if it's something bigger or I'm running something, I usually call back within 5 minutes.
Oh, so quick. Very, very quick. So do you do a lot through email or are you getting more phone calls?
It's mostly phone calls.
Okay. And what's the best number for them to reach you?
On the email, I'm the more technological
You're getting people into the 21st. You're getting ProLam Plus into the 21st century. I hear this. So what's the best phone number that they can reach you at?
They can reach us at 520-326-0493.
Okay, perfect. So we are nearing the end of our show, which I'm very sad. But I do have to ask you one last question. What do you like best about what you do and why?
I would say, that's a tough one. What do I like best? Because I love everything. I would say the lamination, just because we're protecting something for our customers, and it's bringing something that would maybe only last a little while, and now they have it forever.
Exactly.
I love being able to capture everybody's memories, and they get to keep it. It's not going to fade. It's not going to get beat up or worn down. And if it does, we always guarantee our work, so they can always bring it back. But I just love being able to capture their moments forever for them.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Okay, so my mom and grandma and great-grandma had these photo albums with all of those photos that you can no longer do. And I know we could always digitize them, but like, how would you do something like that and laminate it? Like, do you do books? Do you do anything like that?
We have had people come, and they put together like scrapbook pages, and we laminate them for them. But mostly it's just posters. They'll have a poster made, or they'll just bring in singles. So we don't do a whole lot of books, but that would be a very good idea to put out there.
I think that would be.
Yeah.
Because you do have a lot of those old ones that are out there that they want to preserve the memories. And, maybe CDs are going to be a thing of the past. You never know.
With the way that it's going,
we don't
never know.
You absolutely. Like, electronic keeps changing. Like, what was it, like 11 or 12 years ago? We didn't have the cell phones that we have today. So things are constantly evolving, but those pieces that are permanent are always going to stay there.
Exactly.
And you never know if it's going to be a Blu-ray, or if it's going to be a CD disc, or if it's going to be something completely different that's going to be obsolete in 5 more years.
Exactly.
But you're going to have those permanent memories that you might want to keep and laminate and put in some type of book.
We've had people bring very old photos, and they'll be ripped, and we'll try and, tape it on the back and place
No
it,
Elmer's
make
glue.
it look good. No Elmer's glue. We'll try, tape the back, and so that way when it gets laminated, it looks brand new again on the front.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. So that is all we have right now for Connecting Tucson with Jamie, unless, Brianna, do you have anything that we've covered that you do not think we've covered that you want to let everybody know? Do you do any specials for people?
We do specials. We have military, teacher, and government discounts. It's 20% off.
Nice.
We love to help out our community. So if you're a teacher around, please bring in your artwork or maps or anything you want to display up in the classroom that you want to keep for the following years and don't want to keep putting tacks through it and ripping it. Bring it in. We would love to help you.
And it's not very expensive. It's inexpensive and very affordable.
Inexpensive. Very.
Okay, so teachers, military, and government, you offer a 20% discount for. Excellent. Okay, so everybody, that is all for Connecting Tucson with Jamie here at the Stewart Title Studios in Tucson, Arizona. If you like the show, please let us know. Give us a like, share. You can get to know a little bit more about Brianna and ProLand Plus. Go to TucsonBusinessRadioX.com and click on Connecting Tucson with Jamie. As always, don't be afraid to step out of that comfort zone and make a brand new connection. You never know where it might lead. Until next time, keep on making unique connections, Tucson and my listeners. I love you. Thank you so very much. Have a great day.